Good morning, everybody. I toast to you and all you do. I hope you're having a fantastic day. It's Tuesday, so exciting news, funny news. I know I said yesterday that I had lost this little rock that I use with my fairies, my truth rock that we talked about the other day. This is one of the reasons I love working with the fairies. I searched my whole house. I was so upset. I was almost crying. That's how upset I was. I've had this rock for like 20 years, something crazy like that. I mean, for what I feel like is a really long time. And maybe not 20 years, probably 15 years. But anyways, so I've had this rock forever. I was really upset. Even my husband was looking at me like, we're getting stressed out about a rock. And I finally just had to be like, it's all right. If anybody sees it, please don't throw it away. My dad had brought a present for my youngest, who just had her birthday. And he has this obsession with peanut foam, peanut packaging, whatever we call them, snowman poop. So they were all over my living room, and they look just like the rock. So I really thought for like this brief, actually not a brief moment, like 24 hours, that the rock had gotten picked up, like it had at some point fallen on the floor, and it had gotten picked up with all these packaging peanuts, and it was in the trash. I'm like looking in the trash through this box. I was like pretty upset. And I was finally like, okay, I'm sure it's somewhere. Everybody reassured me that they did not put a rock in with the peanut packages, but nobody knows. So I was just like, okay, I guess maybe it's time. I had just found that rock, like whatever. And then yesterday, after I did my reading and my card blessings and all of that stuff, I come inside, and on my fairy altar, it's sitting right there. And that, like I said, is why I love the fairies, is because they brought it back to me. Probably mischievously stole it also, but brought it back to me and then put it somewhere really obvious so that I could find it. It was amazing. So whenever you hear those things, they're like, the fairies are mischievous and they'll get you every time. It's not true. They brought it back. I'm the one that lost it, and they brought it back to me. It was amazing. I'm so thankful. So anyways, I'm going to do a reading of the Discordian read a little bit later. Depending on how it goes, I might share it on my Facebook channel too. I'm doing it for a friend of mine. He's got a great project going on, so we'll see how that goes. Discordian is chaos magic. It's just another branch of paganism. There are so many. So if you've never heard of it, check it out. Surprisingly, the Wikipedia article on it is like very detailed. But that's one of the reasons that I love the Discordian community, is that they all are so full of knowledge. They just have they are vast wealths of knowledge, and they share their information. And because they come at things from the chaos perspective instead of a very organized perspective, they just see things a little bit differently. Plus, Discordia is amazing. She's goddess of chaos. If you've ever heard about her, go check her out. Maybe I'll have to do a video on her next. I don't have my notebook in front of me with all her stuff on about her, so I don't want to get it wrong. Ooh, I got coffee on my little table thing. Dang it. I don't want to get coffee on my cards. I'm trying to use the step stool thing to see if it works better for recording. We'll see. Alright, anyways. So I ran out the cards. Let's see what the cards have to tell us today. Okay, fairy cards. Alright, so I hope everybody had a great weekend. We're doing some remodeling of an old family farm. My sister's going to move into. Should be exciting. Let's see. We try to do some garden sharing and stuff like that. Growing lots of herbs. So we're done shuffling like that. So, what do you guys have to say? Oh, lots of things. Why have more than one card pop out? Oh, environmental awareness. So, when we talk about environmental awareness, I know that this one has the nature in it. You see she's got her hawk. It's not the moon in the background. I don't know what's going on. There's like a moon and a sun. Something. So when we talk about being aware of our environment, not only are we talking about connecting with nature and being connected with nature, but also being aware of your environment around you. A lot of times people go to seek nature. And they're like, I live in the city, I can't find any nature. There's nothing natural here. And it's easy to forget that everything that around us comes from nature, first and foremost, even though it's plastic and we've transformed it, or it's a building and we've built it, or whatever. When we come all the way back down, this is why lotions and soaps and everything else you buy can say all natural, even though it's full of petroleum, because petroleum came from dinosaurs. And at some point, everything that we have on this earth did come from the earth. And even though it's been transformed and it's been changed, energy is not destroyed. It is only transformed. And I know that's a science law, but you have to remember that that's a law of nature. You cannot destroy energy. You can only transform it into something new. So we've taken this old energy and it's transformed into new things over and over and over again until we create this world that we have now. It just brings me back to the thought of like, there are so many people who don't go to the doctors, or there are so many people who don't use modern this or that. And you're kind of missing out. I mean, there are things that you're getting because you're doing it in a different way. So you're experiencing life differently. So you are getting those experiences. But you know, our ancestor witches, when the cauldron was first invented, didn't scoff at it and say, oh, how dare you build a cauldron? Never use that. I'm going to keep using my hole in the ground. They moved forward. They accepted these new things. They said, this is amazing. They allowed that change to happen. So our environment, our everything is constantly growing and changing. And you have to be a part of that. You have to be there with it. Now, I'm not saying that you need to modernize everything and do it all that way. I'm just saying that you need to recognize that even like the pot that this plant sits in is not natural, but it was created from this earth and it was transformed, and now it has this great purpose and it carries this energy just like a cauldron would, or just like anything else, because it's holding my plant, it's loving my plant. When we use our computers, I have a lot of people who ask me, they're like, does my book of shadows have to be handwritten? I hate my handwriting, or I can't spell, or I don't, whatever. No. Your book of shadows is your book of shadows. So it should be whatever you want it to be. And whatever fits into your environment, into your life, into your ecosystem, into your world. And that's what it should be. A lot of times if we find that we're reaching outside of our environment and we're searching, you know, the grass is greener on the other side and there's something better over there, you have to stop. You have to look at your environment, your surroundings. What is it that you have? And show gratitude for that. Take care of it. Show respect for that. And as you do that, more of that energy will come to you. So be aware of your environment. Know what's going on around you. Recognize the energy that's all around you. You know, if you live out in the country, you have this energy. If you live in the city, you live in that, and you have that energy. But they're all connected to the earth, because the earth is what we walk on. The earth is what we breathe in the air created through this earth. We stay warm with the fire and the electricity created from this earth. We live every day on this earth, and that energy is all around you no matter where you are. Even if you live 30 stories up in a high-rise apartment, your nature is just different. Your nature is 30 stories up in the air and the clouds and the birds, and you get a different perspective. And all of these perspectives of our environments come together to create this beautiful image of our world. And if we were aware and conscious and present in that environment, and everybody was like that, I think that we would just have it's one of those kumbaya kind of moments. So be aware of your environment. Stop, take a look, listen, be present, and know what's going on around you. The other one, I keep getting this one. Follow your dreams. I never noticed the little crane on there. I saw a blue heron yesterday, which is one of my maternal messenger animals, which was funny because each time I was pregnant, the blue herons like came. I don't know how to describe it, but they were there. So now whenever I see one, it always makes me think of that. But it's just funny with the little blue crane thing going on here. Again, being aware of your environment and what it means to you. Okay, but now following your dreams. Don't let your like your conscious nagging. That's what we'll call it. Don't let your conscious nagging stop you from achieving the things that you want to do. It's just like when we look around our environment and we're like, hey, I see all of these things that I don't really need or that I don't really want, that are too modern, that are too this, that aren't fulfilling my whatever, that aren't fulfilling my dreams. And instead of stopping and taking the moment to actually be aware, you're like, okay, which one of these things are holding me back? Are they really holding me back? What's the deal? When we just have to stop and listen to our intuition and listen to what those voices are telling us, our spirit guides, our whatever, to help us follow our dreams, to help us achieve our goals, to help us do these things that we want. There is this limiting belief that's ancient. It goes all the way back to the beginning that there isn't enough. There's just not enough in this world for us all to live and be happy. But as we've seen again and again and again, that's not the case. The only time that becomes the case is when we as the people decide that and then overconsume in fear and create an environment in which we cannot survive in, like a virus. But instead of being like a virus, if we lived in harmony with our environment, if we recognize that there is enough resources to go around, there's no need to fight your neighbor and to hoard and to do all of these things. There are the things that we need. And if the people who had stopped acting like they needed everything, then the people who did not have would have those things. I'm not saying that we need to live in like a commune. I mean, that would be great. I'm not gonna lie, but a communistic state or whatever like that. I'm just saying that if everybody realized that there are more than enough resources, there are more than enough everything, there are more than enough people, there's just everything. And we saw that we can achieve our goals without stepping on somebody else. Again, we could have that kumbaya moment where everybody comes together and is aware, like, hey, we can all come together, we can all do great things, and we can succeed and move forward and do these amazing things. You know, I participate in different festivals, and I help people with them, and I do different roles, and I do this and that, and I even vend at festivals, and you see it from all of these different perspectives. And when I go out and I'm in the community, I can see that there are so many people out there in need. There are so many people out there willing to offer their information. There are so many people out there willing to give and receive and all of those things. It takes that coming together and being aware of our environment and following those dreams that say, hey, I want this community, I want these things to happen, and then doing it. And stop getting caught up on this false limiting belief that there isn't enough, that our environment isn't natural, that we are consumed by our consumerism. And yes, that can be the case, but it doesn't have to be. And we can live in this modern world with harmony between modernism and nature and what we want and what we have and all of those different things, and just finding that balance and knowing and being aware and listening. And then we can start to achieve all of these goals. So, follow your dreams today. What are your dreams telling you? Is your dream a limiting belief? Then let it go. If it's not, then know that you can achieve those things. Magic of nature. That's so funny. When people are like, do you believe in card readings? And I believe in card readings so much. I think I've said this before, but I don't do card readings on myself. Because most of the time I don't want to know. I'd rather just let it work itself out. Because I feel like if I know going into it, then I create this self-fulfilling prophecy. And then I don't know if it's me creating the self-fulfilling prophecy or that I did the reading. And then it gets crazy in my brain. But this is one of those times when you're like, wow, we're just talking about, being aware and being in nature and knowing what's going on around you. And then we get this the magic of nature. And the magic of nature is that it's everywhere. Even if you are in a concrete apartment, even people who have there is still nature there. There's still that earth's energy there. You might just have to let go of a little more of your nagging conscious beliefs and actually feel the nature. Let it come to you. Relax. See the magic of nature all around you. It is not just in the blooming flower, but it's in everything. So, see that magic of nature. Get out and follow your dreams. Be aware of your environment. And when we do these things, our dreams do come true better. We see the little things that happen. The fairies come out and visit you. My microphone fell down. See, it's time to stop. Fairies are like, shh, you talk too much. How long have we been here? Oh, yeah. So, just know that energy that you need in order to feel grounded and harmoniously connected to Earth is all around you all the time. You take a deep breath, it is there. If you lift up a rock, it is there. If you look out the window, it is there. It is everywhere. So, I hope everybody has a great magical day today. I don't know what else to say. I think that's about it. Let me know what you're thinking of these card readings. And let that magic of nature just come to you. Sometimes I feel like the cards are still talking to me, but then I'm like, probably not. More cards would pop out if that was the case. Anyways, so I hope that everybody has a blessed day today. I hope that you are able to get out and meet with the fairies or your own spirit guides, or at least just be present in some kind of nature, even if it's just touching a houseplant, or even if it's just looking out the window and watching the clouds, seeing the sun move through the sky, watching anything. It's all there. It's always there. It's always around you. So get out today and connect. Take that deep breath. Bring in that energy. Know that no matter where you are, it is always around you. So, yeah, actually, before I finish, I just want to show you guys something fun. Oh, so my lemon verbena. I don't know if you can really tell. She slooped down. You see how she's drooping? But now look at all along here. We've got all these new little branches that are shooting up out of all of the different places where she's drooping. I felt bad for her for a minute. I was like, oh, my poor plant. She's so sad. She's hanging down and drooping. But as soon as she starts drooping, she starts getting all of these new little branches that shoot up. It's been a really fun plant to work with, and it smells amazing. So if you're looking for an entertaining plant to keep in the house or around, this lemon verbena is amazing. So, it's invigorating. You put a leaf in your pocket. Whenever you're tired, you just smell it, and it's, oh, I feel better. So anyways, many blessings to all of you. I hope that you have a fantastic day and that you're able to get out and see some nature and be present and feel that energy. So don't forget to like and subscribe and all that wonderful stuff. I will see you guys soon.